Welcome. What's up, Antonio? What up, buddy? How we doing? There we go. That's a lot better. Can I take Retatrutide with Monjaro? Some people are stacking both, so you can. Looks like we fixed the chat on YouTube, so that's freaking great. Thank you, Cindy, for joining. Welcome, welcome. I think we are ready to rock and roll, everybody. Let's see. I need to get... There we go. We are live. Perfect. So this is your first time here in the channel, guys. Welcome, welcome. So my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. And what we do is pretty cool. We help people battle obesity, getting to the root cause of their weight loss struggles, utilizing GLP-1s. Hey, what's up, Edward? What up, guys? G-Man, Liz, Adrian, Wilson, welcome, welcome. So if you're on GLP-1 medications, you're going to want to pay attention to what I'm saying, because so many of you guys, and I know this because I have these conversations with you every single day. I coach a lot of people. And so I'm in these conversations, and a lot of you are struggling. A lot of you are doing this on your own. You have no guidance, no support. And so this is what I want to do today. I want to cover as much as I possibly can. I have some free time here. What does it look like to become a hyper responder? How do you speed up your results on GLP-1 medications? These are the things that I want to get into today. What are the things that slow down your results, right? Is it insulin resistance, inflammation, cortisol, thyroid? By the way, those are the big causes of slow results. I want to discuss all of that. And of course, we're always going to answer whatever questions you guys have and get into this. So welcome, welcome. Happy Friday, by the way. What is the Wolverine stack? So the Wolverine stack is a combination of BPC 157 and TB 500. Specifically, what that does is that BPC is anti-inflammatory. It promotes healing. And then TB 500 helps to synergistically boost the BPC 157 because it migrates the cells. So there's a powerful combination when you do BPC 157 and TB 500. Really, really good for injuries and promoting that anti-inflammatory effect. Anthony, besides reducing calories, what other mechanism does weight loss occur while on Tirzepatide? Is it through improved insulin sensitivity so calories are used more efficiently? That is 100% correct, Anthony. Look, when you understand metabolic health correctly, you don't say something silly like some people do and you say calories don't matter. That would be incorrect. Calories matter. But when you understand the relationship between insulin and inflammation and weight management and how calories also affect weight management, you realize that the more important variable to be worried about is the signaling, the hormones. Calories matter, but at the end of the day, they don't matter as much as getting your insulin levels under control. Getting your insulin levels lower is fundamentally more important for the majority of people that are trying to lose weight. The majority of people on these medications are dealing with a great deal of dysfunction, of metabolic dysfunction. So you want to get that under control. Karen, week 6 of Tirzepatide, I lost 11 pounds, struggling to eat more than 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day. Is that okay? So this is a very common issue, not being able to eat enough calories. So Karen, the answer is no, that's not okay. You are literally starving your body. You need a calorie deficit to lose weight, but a continual calorie deficit over time triggers starvation mode in the body. Your metabolism slows down, and this is why you get tired, brain foggy, constipated, feeling cold, achy body, and you don't feel good. So a weight loss plateau is one of the things that I would like to talk about today. If you guys want me to talk about how to fix a plateau, let me know in the comments. And by the way, if you just joined us, everybody, welcome, welcome. The best number to text if you want to reach out to us, if you guys are tired of doing this on your own and you want some help and support, this number right here, 229. If you're watching me on TikTok Live, there it is right there, 229-441-3562. This is the best number to actually reach out to my team. All you got to do is just shoot them a text, let them know that you saw me and you guys are curious about my coaching programs. We have the Peptides. We service all 50 states. And essentially what we do is we help people get to micro-dose maintenance. So if you guys want to achieve micro-dosing to maintain your weight loss, let me know in the comments, is that relevant to you? Is that what you're interested in? Is losing weight and getting off of those larger doses? Let me know in the comments. I love your shopping videos. More, please. Thank you, William. You know what's funny is we will continue to do more shopping videos. My goal is to hit up every major grocery store possible. So yes, you should check out all the ones I've already done. I've done the major ones: Walmart, Kroger's, Target, Costco. We've done a couple Costco's actually. And we're going to start doing more food videos in my house, like in my home, like in the kitchen, showing you guys how to approach food and just simplifying the whole food thing. Athena, is it safe to use metformin for PCOS while on Tirzepatide? So I can't give you individual medical advice, but Athena, some doctors like the idea of stacking metformin with GLP-1 meds. I don't have a necessary problem with that per se. Although our patients, we rarely have to add metformin because we're doing strategic lifestyle interventions like fasting, low carb eating, strategic weight training, and therapeutic fasting. So therapeutic fasting is so powerful, you don't need any other drug. In most cases, not all, in most cases, that's enough to move the needle. Now, what peptide I do want you to add is Sloop 332. AOD 9604 and Sloop 332. Those are powerful peptides. Those are powerful aids to help you mobilize your fat. I'm only 5'1". Is 1,250 calories okay then? No, it's not. Most humans need anywhere between 1,800 to 2,500 calories at rest. So if you get into a deficit, that's fine. But for almost everybody, 1,200 is too low of an intake day in and day out. You're going to plateau very quickly. And then you're going to run into issues because now you're in a plateau where you're eating 1,200 calories and you're not losing weight. So our approach is to cycle your calories. Strategic therapeutic fasting on a weekly basis is the best way to approach this. Bruno, I really enjoyed the video about the research peptides and the prescribed peptides. Thank you, my friend, Bruno. A lot of people are trying to do these underground peptides, so I'm trying to show you guys like cool stuff, but then show you like what you should do. So you got a little bit of takeaway. Is Sloop and AOD in pill form, Francisco? Sloop 332 is a pill. AOD is a troche. Right now, I actually have a troche in my mouth. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm talking with a tiny little bit of a lisp. because I actually have a small troche nicotine. Actually, it's about 1 milligram troche of nicotine. Give me a little brain boost here. But yes, you could do AOD in the troche form, so you don't have to inject yourself every single day. What's a good peptide mel for weight loss? My favorite stack is GLP-1, like Tirzepatide with Sloop 332, or Tirzepatide stacked with AOD 9604, and then getting into some therapeutic fasting. To me, that's the best combination. And then you supplement low carb eating, resistance training. I just actually got back from the gym, did a little chest and biceps myself. So we definitely want to get into some therapeutic fasting windows. We definitely want to get into some resistance training to build muscle mass. How do I get my hair to stop falling out? You need to stop stressing the body out. If you're losing hair on GLP-1s, in my opinion, it's a stress response. When you lose weight rapidly, you get a stress response. So it's not the GLP-1s, in my opinion, causing it. It's the stress response of rapid weight loss that the GLP-1s, when you're not using them correctly, it's rapid weight loss. You're malnourished. You're not nourishing the body with enough calories and nutrition. You need to intermittently cycle. What's up, Tommy? Long time, man. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Sloop is in the morning and the afternoon. Morning and afternoon for the Sloop. Day set. What are you waiting for? When you say you're waiting for them to come, I've prepared a lot of sweets for kids to mess their health. That's not cool. I hope you're joking. Although, I mean, everybody's giving candy to kids, so I think it's probably a little harsh to say that your intention is to mess with their health. But I mean, you really got to think about the whole Halloween activity. It's a massive indulgence with ultra processed garbage for kids. I mean, you know, what are you going to do? Give them a bunch of apples? Like, nowadays, the kids are probably going to throw the apples at your window. So we've kind of created a situation where I don't want to say we have to give them candy, but how do you get the expectation away where the kid doesn't feel like such a loss from not being able to eat all the garbage with their friends? That's a tough one. I don't have a quick answer to that. Are you going to put protein bars? Are you guys going to put protein bars or chicken bites in the kids' bags? You could do that. Little chicken bites, little beef sticks for your kids. User 234. I lost 41 pounds in 7 months. That's fantastic. Are you still losing weight? How much more weight do you need to lose? Samorlin, when to see a difference once started? You might never see a difference. There's no guarantee that when you add any peptide that you're going to see a difference. See, peptides don't fix a situation where you weren't losing weight. Peptides optimize, but they're not the foundation. The foundation has to be close to or already triggering weight loss. And then you can optimize that pathway with the peptides. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if that's resonating with you. What does that foundation look like? We can chat about that. Bojangles, what's up? When you mention GLP-1s, do you mean all of them with the receptors to specifically just the GLP-1? I'm talking about Tirzepatide. That's the GLP-1 2. That's hands down my favorite GLP-1 is Tirzepatide, the GLP-1 GIP combo. Anthony, with the flow protocol, do people typically ever need to up their dose on Tirzepatide? You know, sometimes yes. But our average dosing range is around 5 milligrams. So we're talking obese patients come to us and they usually never have to go past 5 milligrams because they're implementing the flow. And that is such a powerful thing, guys. If you like the idea of being able to stay on low doses and not have to go high, drop that in the comments. Let me know if you're all about that low dose life. Put LDL. If you're all about that low dose life, LDL, drop it in the comments. We're going to create this cool little slang. We're going to say LDL, hashtag LDL. And everyone's going to be like, cholesterol? Everyone's going to be like, LDL cholesterol? And you're going to be like, no, not cholesterol. I'm about that LDL life. We should say LDL life. Then maybe they'll know what we're talking about. See, Marcia and Patricia are about that LDL life. I love it. That's awesome. Everyone's going to be like, cholesterol? What are they talking about? What is the best hormone replacement peptide? There is no peptide to fix your hormones, Brandy. You need hormone therapy. I cannot stress enough. I have amazing women's healthcare practitioners that have been working in my clinic for almost a decade now. And I am such a believer for perimenopause, menopausal women, that you get the estrogen and progesterone that you need. My gosh, women have been lied to for so many decades, and they were told some bullshit that hormones are bad for them. Meanwhile, millions of women suffered because they were lied to about hormones. And now they finally came out and said, my bad, hormones are not dangerous. Bioidentical. So it's kind of crazy if you guys didn't know that. Many doctors still are not up to speed. It's not really standardized or taught in traditional allopathic Western medicine protocols. And so that's why if you're a woman and you're suffering with night sweats, hot flashes, you need to work with a women's healthcare practitioner that understands this and knows how to prescribe bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. And testosterone is a big deal too as well. And we have, by the way, we have providers that do all of this. We work with women, we work with men too as well. We service all 50 states. I've been on Mounjaro since April. I went from 307 to 268. Congrats, my friend. That's fantastic. You've been in the 60s for 2 months. So you're stuck, you're plateaued. We can talk about how to beat that. Yes, GLP-1s do regulate hormones. I wouldn't say they regulate hormones. They improve hormones, Liz. But you might still need to replace your hormones. Jasmine, how many weeks before you stop using tesamorelin? I mean, it depends on how much you want to invest. You know, usually if you're working with us, we might prescribe like a 3-month program. Like a 3-month program, 5 days on, 2 days off, maybe like 500 micrograms to 1,000 micrograms in the evening before bed. Tesamorelin's great. But like I said before, you need to have a base, a foundation of the right lifestyle interventions to get the most out of your peptides. Valerie says she's about that LDL life. She went from 7.5 to 5. That's fantastic. Hashtag LDL. La Prepper, I have been on compounded Tirzepatide for 2.5 months. I've been dosing twice a week. I dose 0.35 every 3.5 days. I guess that is microdosing. I don't know if that's microdosing because is it 0.35 milligrams of Tirzepatide, semaglutide? Oh, it is Tirzepatide. Okay. If that's 0.35 milligrams, then yes, you are microdosing. Anything less than 2.5 milligrams of Tirzepatide is microdosing. Thoughts on Retatrutide and 5-amino-1-MQ? I think 5-amino is cool. There's some utility and some good results I've seen with 5-amino, but I like AOD better. I like AOD better than 5-amino. Mounjaro, what are you getting discouraged about? Sam, using AOD and fasting till lunchtime, is it a waste or fasting till lunch enough? I think that's good because you're eating lunch and dinner. That's an 8-hour window. I think that's a great daily window, but you still need therapeutic long fasting if you're, I mean, I don't know about your case, but the more insulin resistant you are, then the more longer therapeutic fasting that you need. What does KPV help for? So KVP is a powerful anti-inflammatory peptide, gut healing and anti-inflammatory peptide, and it has a specific use case for autoimmunity too as well. So if you have a lot of inflammation, if you have an autoimmune disease, here's my powerful anti-inflammatory stack. It's BPC 157, KPV, low dose naltrexone, and a carnivore diet. I'm going to repeat those 4 things again. If you have inflammation, I'm going to give you 5 things actually. I'm going to give you 3 peptides, 1 lifestyle, and 1 supplement stack. In my opinion, this is the most powerful anti-inflammatory stack. Whether it's autoimmune or non-autoimmune, for example, PCOS, Lyme's disease, post-COVID, that's not autoimmunity, but those are still inflammatory conditions. And then if you have autoimmune inflammatory conditions like Hashimoto's, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, all of these kind of conditions, that's going to prevent you from losing weight in most cases. It's going to make it harder. And so BPC 157, powerful gut healing anti-inflammatory peptide. KPV is also very powerful. Low dose naltrexone is kind of like microdosing GLP-1s. It's microdosing naltrexone. And then curcumin and resveratrol, those are supplements over the counter. I mean, you want high quality, so you would get those prescribed by your doctor, but they're not prescriptions or supplements. Curcumin and resveratrol, and then a carnivore diet. Is there a peptide for lipedema? Not a specific peptide, but if you improve inflammation and metabolic health, lipedema may get better. Thoughts on Retatrutide? Stick with Tirzepatide. I made a video, by the way. I made a video on Retatrutide. Stick with Tirzepatide if you are starting out. There's no point of experimenting with, in my opinion, with Retatrutide because there's a chance you might not be happy with the appetite suppression, the limited appetite suppression that you might get from Retatrutide. Mel, Cardilax is a peptide that I have not experimented with, and I don't see any 503A pharmacies offering that one, so I don't have an opinion on that. KPV, BPC is Clo, a good thing. So Yuri, Clo is cool because you get the GHK copper, you get the BPC KPV, but the ratios, if you're trying to heal injuries, are not ideal. But if you want general anti-aging, then yes, Clo is great. And we offer all these peptides, guys, just so you know. Lapri, let me make sure if I missed your question. I apologize. I don't see your question, Lapri. Here it is. I've been on compounded Tirzepatide 2.5 days, 2.5 months. we talked about, I did get your question. Okay. Thoughts on MOTC? MOTC is one of my favorite peptides. I just did a 4-month cycle of MOTC, and I can tell you personally that I'm able to stay leaner with less effort. Like, I struggle with food chatter. I struggle with dysregulated hunger. That's why this is me up here. You guys can't see me on the other platforms, but on YouTube, you can see that that's me and that's me. And so I have a history of not being able to stay in shape. For years, I struggled. And MOTC definitely helps alongside microdosing GLP-1s. And of course, the foundation is lifestyle. Yes, we prescribe Sloop 332, MOTC, all these peptides and GLP-1s. Guys, if you want to get a free consultation with my patient advocates, I think we do have a couple specials that we're running here through the last day and the first day of the month. Shoot us a text message on this number right here, the 229441. Shoot us a message right there and let them know that you saw me on the live and you guys want to get a free consult. It's a no pressure conversation. Speak to my team. They're going to talk to you. They're going to get to know you. They're going to make recommendations, and you decide if it's worth your time. I'm always going to be here on social media and lives trying to help you guys out as much as I possibly can. If my free information is enough for you to do good, then that makes me happy. But if you're still struggling, if you need some accountability, if you need some implementation help, then we are here to help you. Unforgotten Girl, have we tried Cagri? I've tried it. It's powerful. Calgrilantide is a pure appetite suppressant. It's not exactly a GLP-1, but it works on similar pathways. We don't prescribe it that often. We don't need to. SS31, I do. I cycle occasionally on SS31, but I primarily use MOTS-C. But SS31 is another mitochondria peptide. That one is better if you've had a lot of dysfunction. So if you're coming out of a disease, your health has been pretty poor, I would start with SS31 before MOTS-C. But if your health is, midline and you don't have any particular metabolic disease process, then I would start with MOTS-C. Julie, when you're fasting, when you open your window, should you try to get your calories in? Yes. So the biggest mistake that people make with therapeutic fasting, Karen, I'm going to talk about therapeutic fasting. The biggest mistake that people make with therapeutic fasting is they don't eat enough around their fasting windows. You have to complement your fasting with feasting. I know that sounds a little bit like kind of crazy, like feasting sounds like a really bad word, like I can't feast. You need to feast. Especially if you're on GLP-1s, it's going to feel like a feast. Eating 1,800 calories is not a feast. 3,000 calories, that's a feast. 1,800 is not a feast. That's how much your body needs on a daily. So if you fast for 24 hours or more, and you don't get a day afterwards with 1,800 calories at the minimum, well, now you're doing the same thing that got you into the first problem, which is continual calorie deficits. You need to tell the body that we're not starving. You need to communicate to the body that the fast was a short-term window, but now things are good. Calories are plentiful. This is the approach that we take, and this is how we prevent most people from getting into plateaus. I tried injecting GHK copper. I had a huge welt. I'm not sure where you got the GHK copper from. That's the thing. Like if you got it from a research company or if you got it from a weird source, that could be a problem. I think Tirzepatide and Retatrutide are both powerful, but we always lean on Tirzepatide because some people have issues with not getting enough appetite suppression from Retatrutide. So I wouldn't bother experimenting. Retatrutide is an experiment. That's the best way to put it. Retatrutide is an experiment. It could go great, it could go poor. Tirzepatide is not an experiment. Tirzepatide works for almost everybody. Not everybody, but almost everybody. I can't say that about Retatrutide. And if anybody tells you that, they're full of shit. If anybody tells you Retatrutide is better than Tirzepatide, they don't know what they're talking about. Because what does better even mean? And in my opinion, if more people don't respond to Retatrutide, Retatrutide is not better. If a few people get a better response, it does not mean Reta is better. Because you're going to be pissed if you spent money on Retatrutide and it didn't work for you. And I've seen too many people come to us and we had to put them back on Tirzepatide because they thought Retatrutide was going to solve all their freaking problems. And it does for some people. Hey, Matt, can Zepbound cause one to feel dizzy and lightheaded after bending over? Generally, no. I wouldn't say that's a side effect at all. Sounds like a blood pressure thing. If that's getting worse, I would definitely talk to your doctor about that one. Can you take Tirzepatide if you're not a diabetic? Absolutely. It's FDA approved for obesity. It's getting researched right now for multiple different issues. I've done a couple of videos where I talked about the multiple benefits of these medications. No, our Bojangles, our sloop is oral. Specifically, I took time to figure out a pharmacy that was capable of making a potent oral sloop that resists degradation in your stomach from the acidic environment, so it doesn't break down. So you can get it orally, because injecting it twice a day, that sucks. I don't even like injecting something once a day, let alone twice a day. It's a pain in the butt. User 750, Tirzepatide is not suppressing my appetite. Are you on 0.25 milligrams of Tirzepatide or are you on 2.5 milligrams? Which one are you on? Hey, Mr. Dan Kellums, the man, the myth, the legend himself. What's up, brother? We need to connect soon. Can I take testogen? I don't even know what testogen is, my friend, so I can't comment. Sounds like some sort of testosterone-based product. Sounds like an anabolic agent. You don't need steroids. You don't need... The only anabolic agent you need is quality therapeutic testosterone, if you even need that, by the way. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. All these anabolic agents. Could you find a couple use cases? Sure. I'll just leave it at that. What does the prolonged fasting look like for you? Yeah, so the flow protocol, I know, Dan, we need to do it, brother. We need to do it, my man. I'm here. The therapeutic fasting flow protocol is all about getting into a weekly long fast. But you utilize the GLP-1 medications to suppress your appetite, and you utilize the fat mobilizing peptides to make it easier on your body, to make it less stressful. There's a cheat code. Here's the cheat code for therapeutic fasting, guys. You ready? Pay attention to this. The cheat code for therapeutic fasting flow protocol is AOD 9604 or Sloop 332 plus Tirzepatide. That's the cheat code. And then after you do a really long fast one time per week, you need to surround it with high calorie days. You got to get 150 grams of protein. You got to get about 1,800 to 2,000 calories. You got to get your ass to the gym those other days, because you're going to be so insulin sensitive after the long fast that your muscles are going to be ready to suck up all those calories, and you're going to build muscle, or at least you're going to protect muscle loss when you do this right. And that's what makes flow so powerful. Sobi, I had a consultation with your team and I couldn't understand how I would take less Manjaro when I'm on 10 and the pins are one shot. So that's always the struggle, Sobi. When you're on those single dose pins, there's not a lot you can do, you know what I mean? Some people end up just getting a bottle of compounded Tirzepatide so that way they can use a lower dose. I know if you're dependent upon insurance companies, they don't play nice, and so I get it. But staying on that large dose is not helping you either. Okay, so I know some of you are asking about the weight loss plateau. Let me ask you this question. Do you want me to talk about the weight loss stall? You were losing weight and now you're stalled, or would you rather me talk about slow results? Like, you've never gotten good results, you're getting slow results, you're getting no results, or which is different than the weight loss plateau. Weight loss plateau, you were getting results and then you stalled. Which one are you guys more interested in me talking about first? Hey, Kristen, welcome. You got a question? I got an answer, my friend. Drop it in the comments. Let me know. Weight loss stall, plateau, Stall. Okay, a lot of people are asking for the stall. So real quick, if I have time, I'm going to try to cover both. If you guys are watching me on TikTok, you guys see these are my two new accounts. If you're watching me on TikTok and you haven't seen my content, go find these TikTok pages right here. TikTok has not been playing nice, by the way. So these two pages right here, if you guys like learning high quality educational content, so make sure you follow these two pages on TikTok. And if you're following me on, or if you're not following me on YouTube, go to YouTube right now. I put out 3 videos a week where I discuss these concepts in more detail. Go to YouTube and type in Dr. Jones DC. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as well, but the TikTok and the YouTube are definitely going to be the platforms where you learn the most, I think. And of course, if you guys want to schedule a free consultation with my team, the phone number right there, 229-441-3562, or you can just click the links on my bio. Yes, sir. Forever Wellness is one of our new TikTok pages, and then Optimized Health, I think, is the other one. Okay, so weight loss stall. So let me remind you the number one reason why you stalled on your GLP-1 medications is because your body went into a state of metabolic down regulation. What the heck does that mean? It means your metabolism slowed down in response to you chronically under eating. So, and I know you're thinking, but I thought that's the whole point. The point is to eat less. That's part of it. But the problem with eating less, too much of a deficit, the deficit was too large, day in and day out, over too long of a period of time, the body responds and says, whoa, hold up. If your body talked and it got a little ghetto and gangster, your body would be like, hey, you need to chill out with this diet. You're freaking starving yourself. I don't have enough calories to operate. What do you expect me to do? This is your body, by the way. So your body says, all right, I'm going to slow things down. I'm going to crank the metabolism down. Hello, Ying. Hey, girl, hey. Is that what you want me to say? So your body down regulates and slows things down. And you know what's crazy about this is you'll notice, here's how you know this is happening to you. Let me know in the comments, are you dealing with tiredness, decreased energy, increased brain fog, constipation, you're feeling cold, your body's achy, you feel like crap, you feel like zombie mode. I call it zombie mode. I call it battery saving mode. And then of course, the main symptom is you're not losing weight anymore. So now you're stuck. Let me know in the comments, is that you? Because if that's you, then you need to pay attention to what I'm talking about, because I'm about to give you the solution. I'm about to tell you how you fix this. So let's keep it locked and loaded here before I eat some dinner. I have some dinner coming to my house right now. Some delicious Mediterranean food. But so what we do, because I coach patients on this every single day. So what we do to fix this is a reverse diet or a metabolic reset. All right. So a reverse diet or a metabolic reset is a 3 to 6 week process where you slowly increase your calorie intake, because you need to give your body a signal that it's no longer starving. You didn't plateau and slow down. Your metabolism didn't slow down overnight. It took weeks or months to happen. So it takes 3 to 6 weeks on average to come out of this metabolic down regulation. So the reason why this is such a careful and meticulous process is because if you increase your calorie intake too quickly, like if you go from 1,200 to 1,800, if you go from 1,000 to 1,800, like that, and you do that day in and day out, most likely you're going to start gaining weight. And trust me, as somebody who has struggled with weight management my entire life, When you're in a stall, mentally you're a little screwed up. And I acknowledge, because I've been in there. I've been in this situation. I know what it's like to feel like you can't control your body, and it sucks. You're a little bit mentally screwed up. And so the idea of doing something that might cause you to gain weight, at least in your head, even though I'm telling you you're not going to gain weight if you do it correctly, there is an understandable fear that you need to overcome. It's an understandable fear because you think, well, if I eat more, I'm going to start gaining weight. And I am saying if you eat too much too quickly, you are going to start gaining weight. So here's how we do it. Here's how we break it down. Step number 1, you figure out how many calories you've been averaging. So let's say you're averaging about, you start counting, you're like, okay, I'm averaging about 1,000 calories a day. And this is very common that I see patients that are eating about 1,000 a day. It's insane. So week number 1, your target is to eat 1,200 calories. Now, of course, you need to clean up the quality. If you're eating 1,000 calories of garbage, if you're eating 1,000 calories of ultra-processed foods, well, you need to clean that up. And you need to clean that up to eat better quality food, right? Just whole food. Just think paleo, Mediterranean. That's it. Just choose your foods from those 2 categories. Paleo, Mediterranean. You don't need to go keto yet. Not yet. You increase your calorie intake by about 200 calories. Hey, Mrs. Betts, thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoy this content. And then after an entire week of eating 1,200 calories, then week number 2, 1,400 calories. Then week number 3, 1,600 calories. Then week number 4, 1,800 calories. And then at this point, you're saying, Dr. Jones, that's wild. 1,800 calories. And you know what likely is going to happen in those 4 weeks when you increased systematically, slowly, and patiently? You know what's going to happen? Your energy is going to come back. Your brain fog is going to go away. You're going to start pooping more often. You're going to start feeling less achy. You're going to start warming up. You won't feel as cold. You're literally going to feel so much better, or at least noticeably better. It ranges. That is confirmation that you're coming out of this metabolic downregulated state. And you know what's crazy is you can actually see the changes on your labs. Your reverse T3 levels, the hormone that blocks your thyroid, the reverse T3 starts to stabilize. Your free fraction T3, which is your active thyroid hormone starts to increase. The conversion of 4 into 3 starts to increase. You could literally see this on labs because we do comprehensive labs. The end of the reset is when you're eating about 1,800 to 2,000 calories, give or take. If you're a guy, it might be more. If you're a male, if you're bigger, it might be like 2,400 calories. We don't know. We keep going until we hit that spot. And then you're done with the reset. You're eating twice as much food. You're not gaining weight. You're maintaining weight. You feel a lot better. And that's when you start the therapeutic fasting. That's when you start keto. So really, really, I want that to sink in. That's when you start keto. That's when you start therapeutic fasting. And that's when your health takes off on a whole nother level. Because you are set up for success. You fix the metabolism. The GLP-1 is doing its magic. The fat mobilizers are putting your body into a state where when you start therapeutic fasting, the fat mobilizers are just mobilizing that fat. So your body is in a nice rhythm where it's not stressing out from the long fasting. Have you ever been told fasting is not good for you because you're a menopausal woman? Have you ever been told fasting is not good for you because you have PCOS, because you have autoimmune disease? In most cases, they weren't wrong. Fasting would have messed you up. But in this situation, in the patients that we treat every single day, they do great on fasting because we prepped the body to prepare for the fasting. And that's when the magic happens. So now you guys have a really good understanding of what we do and how that works. Let me know if you guys have any questions about the therapeutic fasting, if that makes sense. All right, guys. Awesome. I'm going to let you guys go. Last thing I'm going to say here is the best number to reach out to my team. If you don't have this phone number already, if you guys want my help, if you want my coach's help, we do service all 50 states. We got you covered. 229-441-3562. Make sure you follow my YouTube channel because that's where you're going to learn the most. Go to YouTube right now and type in Dr. Jones DC. If you're watching me on TikTok, these are my 2 new handles. Go follow those pages if you guys want to learn bite-sized contents, 60 seconds, 90 seconds of information that's going to teach you these concepts. TikTok is great for that. YouTube, we post long-form content. And of course, that phone number is the best way to reach out to my team. Have a great weekend, guys, and I might see you guys later. Thank you, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.